Going to a great dive bar is simply one of the best things in the world. I'm talking about some great American bars. Walski's in Milwaukee, Sportsman's Bar in Clitheroe, the Ice House in Yankton.
Hey Miles, there's a new bar opening in our town. Is it gonna be like those bars?
Nope. It's probably gonna look something more like the cafeteria from the movie Passengers. You know the bars. They're popping up everywhere. Gray walls, corrugated steel, TVs on every single wall. And no, this photo is not black and white. It's just really that colorless. Half of my job is traveling the Midwest and visiting bars of all kinds. I've seen it all. Bars that open at 6 a.m., bars with bowling alleys in the basement, bars that are attached to police stations. And it makes me sad that this unique breed of bars is gonna die because the next generation bar designers are wringing out all the character like a wet towel. We are living through the beer cafeteria era of bars. So, today, we're gonna talk about why are we building these new beer cafeterias? Why are old bars better? And what bars should we be building? I've also found a great example right in my own backyard of a bar that's new and it's doing it right. We'll show you at the end of the video. So Miles, why are we building these cookie cutter bars? I think the first reason why we're doing this is because we've taken what the customer wants and we've done the classic McDonald's move, supersized it. You like TVs? Great, we'll give you 104 of them and put them on every single wall. You like pull tabs? Let's make them slot machines and line the wall with 50 of them. You don't like it when a bar gets too crowded? Let's make the ceilings 15 feet high and the footprint 10,000 square feet. If you give humans too much space, they're just naturally gonna spread out far away from each other like guys at a urinal. And if you're that spread out, how are you gonna make any new friends? How are you gonna tell the guy next to you he's got a nice watch? No one's ever said, wow, that bar was awesome. Everyone was super spread out and had their own cliquey conversations. By building them as large as we can, we've begun to McMansion the bar industry. And when you do have a conversation in one of these acoustical nightmares, it's like trying to tell your buddy at a Creed concert that you gotta take a leak. Hey man, I gotta take a leak! Yeah dude, we have peaked! This is better than sex! You just saw your act! And I think the second reason why we're building these bars, it's easier to build a cookie cutter bar. Running and managing a successful bar is extremely difficult. Building nuance and character takes time. Doing the 1,000 things that a bar owner has to do, I can guarantee that making it more cozy is not very high on their priority list. Margins are razor thin in the bar industry, and so the more money you spend on a unique bar with character, the less money you have for profit. A lot of these new beer cafeterias are getting built in suburban areas where there's not a lot of other bars yet. And when there's no other competition, you don't have to really be that good. You just have to exist because people don't have another option. The bar doesn't have to be great if the location's great. The third reason, and maybe the most important, is there's not a lot of competition where these new bars are going up. This is a good business move. Low competition is better for the business, but the end result isn't quite as good for the bar patron. Why make it awesome inside if they have nowhere else to go? This has resulted in a bunch of new bars that are just good enough to get by supersizing them, building them in low competition areas, and just not needing to care how the inside feels. We've become patient zero for the beer cafeteria epidemic. But what if we wanted them to be great? What if there was a different way to do a new bar? Like Matthew McConaughey once said in a Lincoln commercial.
Sometimes you gotta go back to actually move forward.
That's what we're gonna do. So why are old bars better than new bars? It's the $1 million question. Honestly, they're not. Structurally, they're a disaster waiting to happen. Cleanliness, questionable. You kind of need to cover your nose when you go to the bathroom sometimes. And the layout of some of these bars, you might as well stick me in a corn maze blindfolded. Sometimes you walk into an old bar and you're like, where is the bar? That is how you know they're great. They exist despite all of those things. Even with all of their flaws, you still want to go there and slam 13 beers with your buddies. I want to go to Walski's, where the bathroom sink is just out in the open, where you feel like you've traveled the world with all the flags and photos from across the globe, where you lose all track of time and suddenly it's 2 a.m., they're kicking you out and handing you a sticker that says, I close Walski's, where it feels like someone invited you into their home. And that's what it's all about. The whole thing. If you had the whole thing, it would be about it. If you were doing the hokey pokey, that's what it would be all about. Feeling like home. That's what it's all about. Yay! Gotta teach my kid that soon.
You have to teach him the dad joke about the hokey pokey.
I don't know it. The dad joke about the hokey pokey.
You never heard this one? I used to be addicted to doing the hokey pokey. But then I turned myself around.
And just like when you get invited into your grandma's home, she's got trinkets everywhere and a china hutch and small collections here and there. Your bar should also have trinkets and collections, and honestly, if there was a china hutch at a bar, I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't make sense? But it does. That's what makes the old bars better. It's not about the stats and how much square footage you got, how many TVs you got. It is all about how it makes you feel when you walk in. They are consistently a conversational catalyst. And how do they promote this conversation? It's the low ceilings, it's the wood paneling on the walls, it's the wall-to-wall neon signs. I'm not talking about the new bullshit LED ones either. I'm talking about if you drop this neon sign, it's gonna break and never work ever again. That's what they need to put in the china hutches. They need to put the neon signs in there so no one breaks them. And all these things combined makes you want to spill your life story to some stranger at the bar. It's now your new best friend. If the bar is smaller, it forces you to talk and interact with each other. Let's face it, the bar isn't actually about the bar itself. It's about the goddamn camaraderie. It's about the weird old guy at the end of the bar that's now part of your family. Old bars are better than new bars because when you're there, you forget all about the outside world. You feel like you're at home and not waiting in line for a beer at the DMV. No matter how hard you try, beer cafeteria is never gonna feel like home. So Miles, what bar should we be building? Let's take what's good about an old bar and a new bar and marry them together. And in my mind, the goal is to build an appropriate sized bar and pair it with a ton of character. I know it doesn't make sense to fix up an old 100-year-old building. There's structural issues, there's heating and cooling problems. I get it. That doesn't make for a great investment. So instead, let's build a new one on an affordable lot with an affordable building that's the correct size. It should get crowded once in a while. That's a good thing. That's what makes it fun. We got a smaller bar. We've been economical about building the bar, so we should have some more time and money to spend on the inside. So what do? We lower the ceilings. We wood panel and brick the sidewalls. If you want to build a bar with some corrugated steel on it, it's fine. I'll let you have that one. So now let's throw some mirrors behind the bar, mix up the seating. We got a bar rail, we got a booth, we got a low top, we got a high top. And for the love of God, can we make it damn near candlelit in there so I don't feel like I'm having a drink in a hospital waiting room? A good rule of thumb. If your thumb had a rule, the thumb rule, a bar that's overwhelming is always better than a bar that's underwhelming. And now we've set ourselves up for success. Look at us. We've got some great bones. And if you're the bar owner, it is now your time to let the bar go. Like dropping a kid off at college, you can only hope that you just set them up for success. Someone brings in a Sharpie and wants to write their ex's name on the bathroom stall, let them. If someone wants to staple their dollar bills to the ceiling, let them. If someone brings in their taxidermy, display it with pride. Build it the right way, hammer it with character, and let it grow over time. And as I promised you at the beginning of the video, I have an example of how to do the bones right for a bar. This is actually very tough to find a new bar that was doing it right, and so this is the closest thing I could find to fit in the bill. It's not a purebred bar necessarily, because they're kind of more known for beer and their burgers than belling up to the bar, but I think they got the concept right. The bar goes by the name of JL Beers. The footprint is just right. Not too big, not too small. I mean, look at the size of the bar compared to the lot size. I mean, their whole motto is we have seating for 1,000, 47 at a time. I like that. I think they've proved that you can build a new bar the correct way. The inside's got character. The walls, they're not gray. They are not gray. They got a bar rail, they got the high tops, the low tops, they got booths. And hey, the lighting doesn't feel like I'm in the dentist chair. That's what we're looking for. And although it's not a perfect example because the ceilings could be lower and littered with dollar bills, the structure and model is. So let's take the JL Beers building model, slap some more character on it, and mix in some liquor. And I think if we can do that, we can get rid of those lifeless beer cafeterias once and for all. So guys, if you like our channel, hit the subscribe button, send this video to one of your drinking buddies. And if you are having a few beers and you get a wild hair up your ass and want to open a bar, well, here's your blueprint.
I ain't as thick as you drunk I am. No, I ain't